Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. And here are some of the top places in San Francisco to get your fix. As a kid, summers for me were all about cooling off in lawn sprinklers, long days biking around the neighborhood, and going to the local McDonald's for a cone of soft serve ice cream dipped in chocolate. Well, my tastes have matured since then, but I still enjoy a good scoop. So in honor of summer and childhood memories, let's go check out some of the best ice cream shops in San Francisco. A quick footnote that there are so many awesome parlors in SF that I had a really hard time narrowing down the list. And because I really want to do justice to each location and spend a good amount of time on it, I'm going to break it down into 2 videos. And today we're only going to focus on 4. So if I haven't covered your fave, please, no hate comments. I'll probably get to it in the next vid. I'm going to open this video with the obvious gold standard of San Francisco ice creams, Bi-Rite Creamery, which opened in the Mission in 2006. As of this filming, the storefront is temporarily closed for seismic retrofitting. So I'm going to get my scoop from the food truck next door. But by the time you guys get here, they will have had their grand reopening. They feature about 15 scoop flavors and a handful of the soft serve ones. The most popular flavors are salted caramel, coffee toffee, and balsamic strawberry for the soft serve. I tend to like the florals and fruits, so I am going to get myself a honey lavender today. If you're ever in doubt, sample, sample, sample. Let's take our scoop across the street to Dolores Park to eat. This is the ultimate in gourmet ice cream. They use only the finest, locally sourced artisanal ingredients. Strauss Family Creamery and Double 8 Dairy Buffalo Milk for that buttery rich taste, a high ratio of egg yolks for added creaminess, malted sugar for an earthier barley flavor, and since the 2 founders are pastry chefs, in-house made from scratch baked goods for the various flavors. Other products come from Ritual Coffee, Cho Chocolates, Mead & Mead's Maple Syrup, and the seasonal fruits come from local farms and orchards. Of course, all this goodness translates into higher prices, so expect to drop about $5.50 a scoop. Oh my God, heavenly. This is totally my speed. There's a lot of air in this, so it's super light and fluffy. And that lavender honey is such a subtle flavor. The floral and the honey go together so well. This really is just my all-time favorite ice cream. If you needed to go, pick up a packed pint or 2 at their parent Bi-Rite Market just across the street. For my next stop, I'm headed to Smittens Ice Cream. There are 3 locations, one in Pack Heights, one in Mission, and one in Hayes Valley. Oh my God, this place smells fantastic. Founder Robin Sue Fisher, a Stanford MBA grad, opened shop in 2009, initially as a small ice cream cart, or more literally a radio flyer wagon, circling up with food trucks. Her shtick? Made to order ice cream in the ultimate small batch. Why? Any ice cream enthusiast will know that the best tasting product comes straight off the churn. The texture is smooth because of the small ice crystals. In the freezer, ice crystals melt together, forming a chunkier, grainy ice. Well, that's the idea behind Smitten's to-order process. They mix a single-serving batch in front of your eyes, use nitrogen to flash freeze it, and voila! The freshest ice cream you can get. So no, the nitrogen's not just some clever marketing scheme. And in typical Silicon Valley fashion, Fisher worked with an aerospace engineer to develop a patented machine called the BRRR to operationalize the manufacturing so you're getting a consistent product every time. Smittens doesn't carry an extensive variety of flavors, but what they have is pretty solid. The most popular flavor is the cookie dough with pretzels and chocolate chips. So one of the downsides of this nitrogen process, as soon as I stepped out, the ice cream started melting. I'm gonna have to eat it kind of fast. That's super yummy. The texture is much lighter than I would have expected. The little bits of chocolate chips and pretzels in here are super intense. It's like this concentrated bit of flavor in the ice cream. It's pretty sweet. Okay, I'm gonna try this waffle cone, which people rave about. Surprisingly, really buttery, but also very light and flaky at the same time. And the crunch is holding up pretty well to this ice cream. Not soggy yet. Michels was started in 1953 by Jack and Larry Michel on the ground floor of their mother's apartment building. At that time, they knew nothing about ice cream making except for the 3-hour crash course that they took. Almost 70 years later, Michels, now run by Larry's kids, is one of the most popular old-fashioned ice cream parlors in San Francisco. The recipe is pretty much the same as the brothers formulated it at that time, with a high 16% butterfat content. What's unique about Michels, though, is that it isn't your typical American ice cream parlor, and being located here in the Mission definitely influenced their flavors. In the 60s, there was a huge influx of Filipinos and Mexicans. The brothers introduced more ethnic flavors to address their customers and started with a mango flavor made with fruit imported from the Philippines. It quickly became their #1 best-selling flavor and is still to this day. Michels has doubled down on their Filipino specialization and now also carry flavors like avocado, pineapple, coconut, langka or jackfruit, and ube, a sweet purple yam. I got mango. Yum. That mango has such an intense flavor. Oh yeah, super fruity, super tropical. I love the texture of this ice cream, which is dense and creamy. And despite its exotic flavor, it pretty much hews to an old-fashioned ice cream. I sampled a couple of their other Filipino flavors, the ube, the avocado, the coconut, and by far, this is my favorite. I can see why this is their bestseller. You also have to try halo halo based on the Filipino dessert, which is my personal favorite. On the bottom are mango beans and red beans. The green bits are young coconut jelly. This up here I believe is langka or jackfruit pulp. And then it's topped up here with condensed milk and shaved ice. On the very, very top is a scoop of their halo halo ice cream. Kind of got to dig all the way down here to get some of this halo halo goodness. Brings back memories of beaches in the Philippines. This halo halo is not so easy to find, so I'm glad Michels has it. Ooh, I think that's a tapioca in there. And I see some green and red bits, which are like candied beans. You know, the ice cream, while nice, tastes even better when it's melted into the sundae. The shaved ice in here is also nice. The chips are on the larger side, so there's this really delicious icy crunchiness. If you're not into some of the more exotic flavors, there's still a huge selection of the traditional ones, like pistachio and caramel praline, as well as some more contemporary ones like grasshopper pie and Thai iced tea. We're gonna end off today with a little palate cleanser at Lush Gelato. Owner Federico Maduro started out selling his Argentinian-style gelato at local farmers markets. His first permanent store was in Oakland, then in Berkeley, and finally this Polk Street location in 2014. Gelato, which is Italian for ice cream, is essentially the lighter, less caloric version. It uses less cream, no eggs, and is churned slower for a denser product. And less air means more concentrated, vibrant flavors. Lush's flavor portfolio leans more fusion Cali South American. To start, I got a double scoop of creme brulee and chocolate orange zest sorbet. Okay, this is starting to melt, so I'm gonna dig in. That is so divine. The gelato itself has this beautiful buttery caramel flavor to it. And then check this out. There's actually some burnt sugar pieces mixed into the gelato. Interestingly about this gelato, the taste is so much like an ice cream, but the texture is definitely a gelato texture. Okay, I finished off my first scoop and I'm now down into the sorbet. Can't wait to give it a try. Nice big spoonful. That That chocolate is so intense, and there's these little overtones of orange to it. It's kind of like eating a frozen dark chocolate bar. The sorbet is much lighter, and it's definitely an awesome palate cleanser. And I just ran into the owner, Federico, super nice guy, who gave me a couple of other flavors to try out here. So we're gonna give also the dulce de leche a try, and also the whiskey with walnut pralines. Looks delish. The walnut pralines here, they make in-house. Okay, now let's try the whiskey walnut praline. There's whole chunks of walnuts in this. Ooh, good. The walnuts are candied, so there's this kind of punch of flavor throughout the creaminess of the ice cream. And there's just this undertone of whiskey to it, so it's not overpowering at all. Yeah, that's a super clean flavor. And last but not least, the dulce de leche, which Federico tells me is a pretty common flavor in Argentina, where he's from. Wow, that's a beautiful caramel flavor. Very different from the creme brulee, surprisingly. This is almost like a liquid version of the caramel toffees. Okay, after sampling all of them, I'd have to say this whiskey walnut praline has got to be my favorite. I think I'm gonna have to get a scoop of this to go. They're actually the only gelateria here in San Francisco that does make things from scratch. In fact, if you look back there, you can see into the window and see them making the ice cream. And we end with an oldie but a goodie. Stay tuned next week for part 2, where we've got more ice cream and a special surprise, the Ice Cream Museum. See you then, and peace out.